Hi friends, Irina here from Fiberchats. I just got back from a knitting retreat with Sari Nordlund in Costa Rica, and I want to share with you my experience there. So this retreat was organized by Claudia Quintanilla of UNIT Toronto, and Sari Nordlund was the instructor there. My biggest fear was not making the connecting flight because we had snow in Boston, but everything went super smoothly with my flight to Costa Rica. I arrived the night before because we were meeting as a group in the morning in the airport, and there was no flights that were arriving from Boston in the morning. So I flew the night before. I stayed in the hotel close to the airport. And then in the morning I met with a couple friends and we went to the airport and we met the rest of the group. The drive from the airport to the hotel was the most picturesque. It's about 3 hour drive, and you see some of the beauty of Costa Rica, the beaches, the animals, the beautiful jungles there. We stopped to take some pictures and also had some fresh coconut juice. We arrived at the hotel around lunchtime, and Selma from Little Big Needs, she was my roommate for this trip. So her and I, we went for lunch. We had some beautiful ceviche. The food was just superb. It was so fresh. The fish was like freshly caught. You could just taste the freshness of it. And they have beautiful fruits and vegetables. So we enjoyed our lunch and the view of the ocean. The hotel where we were staying is situated in the forest, tropical forest. So there's a lot of little paths that you can take and spot some wild animals there. Or even if you sit on the balcony, you just overlook these beautiful trees. It reminded me a lot of Jurassic Park. Like the size of those trees were just like really humbling. There were a few different pickup times from the airport. We were the earlier group, but by the evening, everybody made their way to the hotel and we had dinner all together. It was very informal, just introducing ourselves, getting to know each other, hearing everybody's stories, where they're coming from. And we did come from all over the place, I must say. In the morning, we started with first class with Sari. We went straight to business. When we arrived to the room, there was coffee, water, you could make tea for yourself, and there was this very generously sized goodie bag for every participant of this retreat. And I was so surprised to find some Pasquale yarn. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm Pasquale's fiber ambassador this year. And their yarns are just so beautiful. So we had 2 different yarns. Everybody had different colors. But we had 2 skeins of Sayama. And Sayama is the Bolivian llama and virgin wool blend. So we were knitting one of Sari's patterns with Sayama yarn, and the second yarn we got this sweater quantity of Merino Baby, and it's soft Argentinian organic merino. So I actually swapped with one of the participants. She wanted blue and I wanted this dusty pink, so we swapped our colors. Besides that, we had a book by Sari. So this is her latest book called Summer Knits. And don't tell anybody, but she's working on another book that's coming up soon with Line magazine. But in this book, there were 2 patterns that we were working on. One was a summer top and another one was a scarf. So the first class was about that summer top. So we used this, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's vanilla top. And it's seamlessly from top down, beginning with a neckband. So basically, at that class we just made the swatch for that summer top, using the chart for this lace. So to get us familiar with the lace. Besides the book, there was a ton of little goodies. There was some cross-stitching kits and some embroidery kits in there. If you follow Claudia, you know she's big on embroidery, on knits. It was also applique pack, some scissors, some needles. There were markers, so anything your heart desires. We felt really spoiled with this goodie bag. So the class was from 9:30 to 12, and then we went all together for lunch. And after lunch, we had a surprise treat. We were all invited to the spa and had massage. We were hanging out by jacuzzi there, having some Prosecco, and just hanging out together, you know. So it was really nice to spend time with our fellow knitters. We had some free time after the spa, so I went to explore the resort. There's so much to see. There are so many plants that, you know, you have sometimes your house plant at home and it takes like that much space, and over there it's like 15 feet tall. So it was amazing to see all the fauna and see beautiful birds and some monkeys, and there was a sloth with a baby. There's like a lot of different animals. Some of them I never have seen before, some of them I never even heard of before. So it was very nice to go and explore. And then in the evening, we met all together and we had dinner. I'll share with you some of the pictures of the food because it was just superb. It was very fresh, local flavors, really delicious. So that was day 1. After dinner, I was just hanging out with Claudia. Claudia and I have been friends for a while now. We traveled together to Barcelona. She came to my house, visited me here in Boston. So we were just catching up. I haven't seen her in a while. So we spent a lovely time just having tea on the terrace and, you know, chatting, catching up. And when I was walking back home, it was very empty. The whole resort, everybody was asleep, except for crabs. There were a lot of crabs. Like, I didn't expect to see crabs in the inland. But there they were. They were scattering away. At first I was thinking they were spiders, but they were crabs. So learn something new. The next day we started again with the class, and that class was based on Sari's pattern called SPAS. It's a scarf that you can see here in the book. It was a lacy scarf, so Sari was going over how to read your lace charts and how to do increases. She was showing different techniques. So that was the class in the morning of the second day. We met all together for lunch, and then we had pool time. So this resort had 3 or 4 different pools. So we gravitated toward this pool for adults. It was a little quieter. As soon as you come there, you could see a bunch of knitters. People were really curious. It was definitely a conversation starter because nobody expected to see knitters at Costa Rica, But the heat or humidity would not stop us. So we were knitting there every day by the pool or in the pool. And it was also a great opportunity to just get to know Sari a little bit better. I've met her at a few festivals, but never had to spend time with her. So here we could just chat and, everybody got an opportunity to just spend time, ask questions about Finland and how she became designer and about her design process. So it was very nice to see people communicating with her and hanging out with her and getting to know her better. That night we had our gala dinner. So we were in the Orange Salon of the hotel. It was delicious 3-course, more formal dinner. And after dinner we had a surprise. We had salsa class. So there were 2 instructors who taught us the basic steps of salsa. I'm not a dancer. I actually don't dance much, but they made all of us somehow join. At first it was just some stretching exercises, and then they were explaining some basic steps, and by the end of it we went into full swing and got some dance moves. It was actually tremendous fun and really bonding, because when you dance with somebody you become much closer to them. So that was the end of day 2. The next day we had our outing to Manuel Antonio National Park. We were picked up from the resort by our guide, who gave us water, towels, and we went to the park. So there is a lot of different animals, and these guides are so knowledgeable because they can spot these animals. I probably would have missed all of them or half of them. We got to see some of the spiders and crabs and monkeys and some birds and some beautiful butterflies. And the guide had this extended lens that you could see them, all these animals, much better. So they knew where to find them. They knew how to spot them. Part of this tour was a break at the beach. So they had the beautiful beach. I went for a little walk first, and then I went for a swim. The beautiful thing about that park is that it had all different kinds of fauna. So there was part of the forest, but then also part of the mangrove and beach. So we got to see all different kinds of wildlife there. And it was most of the day we were exhausted by the end of it, but it was really a nice way to visit the national park.
upside down, scratching himself a little bit. Little flooring right there. There you go. 3 toes close, guys. Scratching. Look like I'm playing guitar.
That evening, Sari did the book signing with us, so everybody got to take pictures with Sari and have their book signed by her. And by that time, we all knew each other well, so it was very special to feel like Sari is not just signing a book for a stranger, but for somebody she spent time with. The following day was our final day in Costa Rica, and we had free morning to do whatever we wanted to do. So I went to the pool. I met some very interesting people at the pool. I was knitting there and we were just chatting. And then around lunchtime, we went on a sailboat. It was an unforgettable day. It's so beautiful to be on the boat and see Costa Rica from the sea. We were served delicious fruits and drinks, and then later on dinner. I didn't go for a swim. I'm not great at swimming in the open ocean, but a lot of people went to snorkel and swim. We were on that boat for most of the day. I think we got back, it was like around 7 o'clock or something like that. So it was just very relaxing. Great day with great music, great company, and we came back tired but like so happy. And of course we got to experience Costa Rican sunset from the boat, and it was just spectacular. Morning we were picked up from the hotel and drove to the airport, and then it started my long trek home. So my flight got delayed. I was flying through New York back to Boston, and my flight to New York got delayed by 5.5 hours. So yeah, it's been a long day. And then by the time I got to New York, the second flight got delayed even further. So I was able to switch to an earlier flight with another airline. So I eventually got home instead of midnight of that day, the 8 o'clock in the morning the following day. But, you know, who cares? I made it home. It was really a lovely retreat. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I got to meet some amazing women there. We spent so much time knitting, chatting, getting to know each other, sharing life stories. The food was incredible. Sari was a delight. All the details were taken care of, and we got these very generous goodie bags to take home with us. I'm definitely planning on knitting some of Sari's patterns now that I have her book. They all look very easy to wear, very comfortable but elevated. So if you haven't seen that book, check it out. It's called Summer Knits. And Sari said that her summer tops are usually her best sellers. So check it out when you have a chance. Once I got home, it was back to business. If you remember, in August, my design got published in Line magazine. It was a sweater pattern called Never Too Late. And the rights for this pattern were finally transferred to me from Line. So I came home, I rewrote the pattern for Ravelry. So now you can find it on Ravelry as an individual pattern if you wanted to knit it but didn't have access to Line magazine. Now you can get it on Ravelry. I also just recently published the pattern for this shawl here. It's called Faint Lines and it's also available on Ravelry. I made it with Pasquale, new yarn called Linen Bloom. And this is color 11. So if you want to make one of those, check it out on Ravelry as well. Thank you so much for watching this recap. I hope you enjoyed it. My next travel adventure will take me to Switzerland. Sydney Morel from Rowan Tree Travel and I are taking a group of knitters to Swiss Yarn Festival, as well as some other traveling knitting adventures. We're gonna have some chocolate making workshops, fondue, lots of different things. I'm very excited about that one. So stay tuned for that recap. And until next time, happy crafting!